Good evening. This is the Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for August 21st, 2014. It's going to be a fairly short meeting. We have no tree permit or right-of-way issues or landscape issues. And Ron Lucas has emailed me his report for tonight as he's not able to be here. He reports that the tree inventory project is moving along. Street trees in the west side have been inventoried and the data collectors are moving into the near north side. He is expecting to get started on the full tree planting, and he would like to set a date in October for Arbor Day. I remember at our last meeting we did discuss the middle school being the site of the project. I don't know if Ron has actually approached them yet to find out if that's acceptable to them, but assuming it is, then I presume we're going to be planting some large native shade trees at that site. Things like either oaks or tulip trees, little leaf lindens, Kentucky coffee trees. I don't know what else we can come up with. But,
well, we've planted a lot of maples, but we haven't planted as many recently, so yeah. Maybe we could get back to a few more maples.
Yeah, that site.
There's some nice ones.
Yes, that site around the corner has got a number of tulip trees and oak trees, from what I remember. So maybe a maple.
The wood of the tulip trees is a little more brittle than some, and you might consider the possibility of breakage.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we've got plenty of choices, and I think it's probably going to be, as usual, up to the nursery person that Ron goes to as to what's really available at the time. But I think the objective should be trying to plant a native tree there of some sort. Ron has also provided me with copies of plans for the Richland Avenue, sorry, not the West Union Street project. He's given me a written description of what they're going to do on the Richland Avenue project, and he's also given me a copy of the Mill Street end of the South Green Drive extension project. So I'll circulate those out to you this evening probably. But that was something that we had requested from him. He also said that he's in support of the Emerald Ash Borer plan that we're going to look at tonight. I think there's one or two things that just need to be polished up on that. But are there any questions you'd like me to relay to Ron at all at the moment?
I have none.
Okay, thank you. In that case, we'll move along, and what we're going to do now is just go over the Emerald Ash Borer Management Plan. This is a document that was drafted a while ago. It needs to be revised now that we know that the Emerald Ash Borer is in the city, and what I'm proposing to do is that we'll treat this essentially as a first reading tonight, and then we'll vote on it at the next meeting in September. I don't think there's anything particularly controversial in here, but I think it's appropriate that we just take our time to go through it and make sure that we're comfortable with everything that's being proposed. In brief, the plan is simply to remove dead and dying trees as they occur. There is no plan to remove trees preemptively by the city. We've never seen a need for that, and there should be plenty of time to remove the trees once they become infected. We will encourage contractors, utility contractors in particular, to remove ash trees rather than prune them if they fall along their easements. But other than that, I don't think there'll be any work done on an uninfected tree. I think it'll all be done with the infected trees. One of the pieces or a couple of pieces are missing. This plan refers to two appendices that I don't seem to have, so I'm going to ask Ron for those. One refers to an ODA, Ohio Department of Agriculture, list of companies that are in compliance with the ODA, and another refers to a planting specification that comes from the Ohio Division of Forestry. I'm hoping Ron's got those, so we can put that into there. A correction at the bottom was suggested by Ann Bonner. The Marianne Prue is no longer with the DNR, and the extension agent has been changed. So those were two other changes that needed to be made.
I was wondering about putting the name of an extension agent, because we do not have a permanent one.
No, that person is actually the interim one, yes. Yeah.
We're sharing with Hocking County, I believe?
I
Yes,
don't know what the arrangement
yes.
is.
Yeah.
And
So do you think it would just be appropriate to leave it with Anne's contact information then?
well, yeah, and I think it would be good to add it when we have it.
Oh, when we have a permanent one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I can do that.
What's the procedure, like, so I can see removing a dead tree, but what would the procedure be? Have we talked about that on a dying tree? At what point is it, when it's a hazard that it might fall, or?
Yeah. If it's becoming a hazard, then I think the way, and Ron is really the person who should answer this question, but what we have is a graded approach to trees. If we see a tree that is in decline, if it's not an immediate hazard, but it's predicted that it's going to die, then we need to get it on a schedule where we can get that tree down before it's actually died, because it's cheaper to cut down a tree that's not dead completely.
And I think that is particularly true with ash trees.
Okay, and the hope is that what we'll see, and we're already seeing it with the trees at the middle school, is that you see a tree in decline there over a period of years. We may be into the second year now of one of those trees at least, and so we should have plenty of time. And then the only question is if there are any branches that are obviously dying that are going to be hazardous if they fell, in which case you might intervene faster. And Ron has the power to do that if he needs to. And so it's a case of, I think we may have to do more surveillance. We may have to train some city workers to be alert to the fact that if they see a tree in decline, they need to contact Ron and let him know.
But in addition, then, community members may call and say, this tree's a problem, then somebody would come out and take a look at it. Yep. Ron will probably be surveying on some regular basis,
yes,
and looking at things, particularly once they know they are infested and potentially a hazard at some point down the road.
I would hope so, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to have some.
So Ron really is a linchpin in this whole
yes,
thing.
He is. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Now, with the tree survey, we know, with the ash tree survey, we know where we've got ash trees in the city, so to some extent we can go out and look at particular areas that are not infected or not infected yet and see if we can spot problems. Because as I understand it, you tend to see zones within the city affected. I don't think it appears that the insect pops up in sort of random places. It's a fairly slow-moving infection, from what I understand of this disease. And so that was why I asked Ron to set up a map so we can see where the infection is within the city and see if we can spot it moving throughout the city.
I'm curious how we're going to respond to some of these ash trees that were actually planted due to Title 37. So, for example, the ash trees in front of Lowe's, they're going to go. How it's like as soon as they die, or then we send a letter to Lowe's and say, okay, you got to put something in there.
I'm afraid
maybe
that's
to inform them, why don't you, either cut them down now or put something in there.
I think it would be wise to have something in the letter about the fact that it's cheaper to remove a live tree that is obviously dying than a dead tree.
So
that might encourage them to remove it and replace it sooner.
So I know we have an inventory of city trees, but obviously we probably don't have an inventory of who's out there. Lowe's is pretty obvious, but how many trees? How long has it been since you've had people plant ash trees? in
As soon
Athens?
as we knew the emerald ash borer was in Michigan, we were telling people not to plant ash trees.
So 15 years?
10, 15 years, yeah. It's
So
been,
maybe-
it's been a long time.
It's been more than 10 years,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Yeah. So yes, this is a problem that property owners have got, and therefore the ones who are under the Title 37, they're going to feel the effect of that, because we're going to have to request them to come back into compliance by replacing those dying ash trees.
But of course, how are we going to know? How are we going to know?
We look and observe.
By observation.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of the stuff
Probably enough of us go to Lowe's that we will know.
Well, that's a
Yes,
that's
yes,
easy, but I'm
but
talking about a lot of
something-
these things that were planted because of some resurfacing where there's a lot of student housing and things like that, or whether or not that even exists. I just don't know. I haven't been here long enough.
Yeah. Certainly, it's been a long time since we suggested planting ash trees. Very long time.
I noticed part of this policy also creates a website on the city website that will give information about emerald ash borer for situations which we won't observe.
But to let folks know, I mean, they are responsible.
Yep.
Why would we single out just trying to figure out the Title 37? If trees die in the community on private property, we should actually encourage them to replace them too, right? And
Yes.
It's a part of our canopy, and
Yeah, but there's
and I think just like Title 37, there's probably not a lot. I mean, if it's a student rental property, then every 2 years or every year or every 2 years they reissue an occupancy permit. So that one might be easy. But like a Lowe's, how can you compel Lowe's or somebody like that unless they're doing some specific project where they require a permit? So those Title 37s are really no different than any other tree in the community.
no.
From an enforcement perspective, maybe there's
Well, yes.
there's yes.
The enforcement issue really depends on compliance by the owner, because of the way that the whole compliance process works. That you really do need.
But see, my thing is we should send out a letter, or the city ought to send out a letter to anybody who loses the trees to try to restore the canopy that we've
yes.
got.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's
Yes.
a Title 37 or not.
Yeah.
Wherever
No,
particularly if we're losing any significant numbers.
And there are regions of the city where significant numbers of trees are going to disappear because of the way that the ash trees seem to propagate themselves. So yes, that is going to happen. And so yes, we should be encouraging people to replace trees that are dying, and to encourage them to take them down before they do die.
There's also a statement under private ash trees under this policy about the city may organize a purchase program for private homeowners.
And that's an incentive and a help. If you can
Yeah.
buy in bulk, then it and you can get a better deal. And, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not like silver maples or things
Right,
like that.
right. Well, that's the other thing too. You can actually have some say on what happened. What gets put in there. If you can get them a better deal on a hardier tree or something that is something we think is a better tree for the community.
Yeah.
Than getting something at Lowe's because it's cheap, or and not a bad tree, but just an inexpensive tree and something there's so many of.
Maybe even be able to encourage Lowe's and Walmart to stock some of these
Well.
trees. There's a market there. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we will come back to this at our next meeting. If there's other issues that pop up in the meantime, let me know.
What revisions do you think have to be made? I just quick. Oh, you've got a couple of things. The
These-
names at the bottom.
These appendices, and we need to fix
Okay.
those names.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything else obvious in here, but I'm one of these people who's fairly conservative when it comes to these things, and I want to make sure everybody's happy with what's written there, and that all of a sudden you don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, John, and say, I've got to have this in the Emerald Ash Borer plan, and we didn't include it. So we'll give it 2 or 3 weeks before the next meeting.
Well, my rereading of this was that we'd done a pretty good job the first time.
Well, actually, I think it was Albie that edited this. I think she was the one who put it all together. Okay, so we will hopefully move ahead on that one at the next meeting. I don't think I have any other business. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to raise? I can see we have a member of the public here. Did you come here to ask us anything?
No. Just to introduce myself and to see what your board is about.
Okay, could you come up to the microphone over there? Because the city records all this on video,
Right.
So people can always see it.
Yes, state your name and...
Yeah.
My name is Orion Gassaway. I'm a certified arborist, and I recently moved to Athens. This is my hometown. I've been living in Colorado for the last 13 years. Mm-hmm. And just coming back to a different town, and I'm curious about the tree program, and I found out about this commission on the Wet City website.
Are you going to be operating as a professional arborist in the town?
Yes, I'm for hire.
Okay, good. Well, we will add you to the list, and
Yeah.
the city does maintain a list of registered contractors. I think they actually refer to them as. We had this come up in the last meeting because of the issue over the Emerald Ash Borer and what private citizens could do, or what resources existed to enable people to find people like you.
Sure.
And one route is the registered contractors list of the city. The other one is a website which we were recommended called treesaregood.com.
Right.
That apparently is another good place for people to go to.
Yeah.
And because we know there's going to be an awful lot of people with questions
Right.
about what to do and when
Yeah,
to
I'm
do it.
afraid I was out of town. There was a meeting on, August 4th that the ODNR did
Yes. Yeah.
at the fairgrounds.
I believe so, yes. I always know able to get to it.
Okay.
But the person who you might want to contact is Anne Bonner. She's our urban
Okay.
forester, and she works for ODNR for this entire region, but she's based in Athens. So she's, for us, a fairly easy person to get hold of, but she wasn't able
Right.
to come to.
Yeah, it sounds like she does a lot with
the meeting.
government and helps
Yeah.
them make decisions.
Yeah. Okay, well, welcome back to Athens.
Yeah,
thank you.
there's a need for certified arborists.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I come from Durango, Colorado, where they had their own city forester and forestry crew. So,
Mhm.
Good.
curious on how Athens takes care of its trees.
Okay. Good. Right then. So the last thing on the agenda is the minutes of the last meeting. I know I've not misspoke Jared's name, but I managed to do it without the capital F.
That's all right. Biggest.
Just look over those and then.
Yeah, I noticed that the Columbus Road white oaks are actually popping a little bit. You know, we thought they were dead,
Oh yeah.
but there's something coming out.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird.
Ann kept saying they might.
Yes.
I think it's the form's going to be kind of unusual on that, but they're not dead, so
That's good.
So I move that we accept the...
Please do, John. Yes. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any objections to approving the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, we have minutes of the last meeting. Our next meeting will be September 11th. That's in, I think, 3 weeks' time. So that will be the second Thursday, which is our usual date for having the meeting. So with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.